Hey guys, TheInevitableSaiyan here, and I'm doing my Every Card is a Story segment for this Friday, episode number 13, I believe. This is a very interesting story because I actually have this MRD first edition Solemn Judgment. As you can see, it is first edition. It's kind of hard to see on my iPod, but you can see it right there. But anyway, the story behind this card is very interesting because I got this for a really, really cheap price. Basically, this was about a year ago, and I always collect, I collect Solemn Judgments ridiculously. I can show you right here while I'm talking about this. But Solemn Judgments are one of my favorite things to collect because I always just thought they were one of the coolest cards out there. As you can see right here, I got a whole page of them. They're all different. This is where I took that one out. But Solemn Judgment, excuse me, is one of my favorite cards. I like it because it's just, there's something about it. It's an old card. It's really universal. Everybody pretty much uses it. It's such a good staple because it just pretty much negates anything. And excuse me, I don't know, for some reason I just always like to collect it, and I didn't have many at the time before I got this card. I think I had a Super, and I had a German first edition MRD, or not first edition, actually yeah, German first edition MRD. I had a German one, but I didn't have an English one. English ones were really, really hard to find in first edition, and I found this kid, and he wanted to buy some stuff for my dollar binder, and then he wanted like this $5 or $6 card for me out of my regular trade. But I don't remember what it was because this was about a year ago. But I remember it was a couple things from my dollar binder and this really low value, like $5, $6 card for my regular trade binder. And he said, "Oh, you collect Solemn Judgments?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I have an MRD one," and I was like, "Okay, cool," because I wasn't necessarily looking for a first ed one. I was just looking for an MRD one, and he never clarified the edition of it. I always just assumed he said, "Oh yeah, I have an MRD Solemn Judgment. Okay, I'll send you my MRD Solemn Judgment." I just assumed that he meant unlimited because usually with first edition, you point stuff out like that because it makes a huge difference in price. So he sent first to me, and it was a couple other things that he gave me. I can't remember what it was, but this was the highlight of the trade. And I opened the mail. I get it like 2 days later. And, well, actually, a little side story about that. I actually didn't get the mail. Apparently, this mail ended up at my neighbor's house, and after I got the mail at like 2 p.m. that day, my dad came to me at my room at like 7 p.m. He was like, "Oh yeah, I went to the neighbor's house today, son. You got mail that they got apparently mixed up from the mail worker truck or whatever. So they got your mail." And I was like, "Okay, thanks." And apparently like they got like really like curious. They were like, "What's this card that Trent has?" And then it started this big fight with my mom and the neighbors because my mom was getting mad that they were like, feeling my mail, like trying to figure out what was in it. But anyway, that's just a little side story that happened with that now that I remember. But anyway, I get the mail. I open it after my dad gives it to me, and I see Solemn Judgment. I'm like, holy crap, this is first edition. And I was like, I was just baffled because, at the time, Unlimited Solemn Judgment was like a $15 card if it was MRD. Now Unlimited is like 8 to 10 because it's gotten reprinted like a couple times, like from the common and stuff like that, and the battle packs. So at the time, Unlimited was like $15. So I was already getting a pretty decent end of the trade by just giving him like a $5, $6 card and a couple other things for my dollar binder. And I think he wanted something else. It was like $2 or $3 now that I remember. But anyway, the point was I was getting the good end of the trade at the time just from thinking that it was going to be unlimited. But he gives me a MRD first edition Solemn Judgment, and I was just freaking ecstatic because at the time, MRD first edition Solemn Judgment was like probably $40, and now it's about 30 to 35, 40 sometimes on eBay. If it's mint condition, which this is, I wouldn't have been as excited if it was pretty beat up. But this is a first edition MRD mint Solemn Judgment, which is very, very hard to find mint these days because it's so old. Because you had to get the first edition when the packs came out really early. That's outrageously old. So I just randomly got an MRD first edition Solemn Judgment, and I was thinking I was going to get an MRD Unlimited one, which now makes like, a $25, $30 difference in price. So that's the story behind my MRD first edition Solemn Judgment. Maybe do you guys have a story like this where you accidentally got a higher edition than you were expecting and it made a difference in the price value? If you do, let me know in the comments. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed watching it. Comment your opinions below. And there's a new story every Friday, so stay tuned and thank you for watching.